Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Dev's Kingdom. This is Jacob. DeepSeek just released the latest R1 model. So it seems to be outperforming Sonnet and also outperforming O1. So if you look at the metrics, it is pretty good. And this seems to be the best reasoning model as of today. They released both versions, DeepSeek R1 0, DeepSeek R1. So both are very large, and you can see basically they're all trained based on DeepSeek V3 base, and which means it's reasonable that's very large. And if you look at the other section, they have distilled models. So they have a lot of the models that are smaller and distilled. So if you actually go to the Hugging Face, even they're distilled, those are still very large. So in this tutorial, we're gonna show you how to test it on Ollama, and so that you can actually test it on your own free time. Also, of course, there's offshore way to test it. We're gonna show that as well. So that being said, let's get started. So if you want to use the actual R1 distilled models and test it on a local, so use the unsourced version. So they just released the DeepSeek R1 distilled Ollama through 8B GGUF. So you can see, actually, there are just few gigs. The largest is 16 gigs, which means you can test everything that is listed here, almost everything that's listed here on Kaggle, which we're going to show you how to do that. And you can see already spin up this 8-bit model. So from this unsourced repo, and already ask them, what is the model, right? So they say, okay, DeepSeek R1. So which means this is a right model, and it only seems about like 8 gigs, so it's pretty good. And how to set that up, basically I have a tutorial to set it up on Ollama OpenWebUI. And so to show you quickly, basically there are a few changes you probably have to make this work. If you didn't follow my previous tutorials, I'll put the links in the description. But if you want to actually run this OpenWebUI as of now, you have to make 2 changes. The first change is basically to first, of course, download this DeepSeek R1 distilled Ollama AB GGUF model. So just do a direct pull from the Hugging Face. You should be able to get it. It's about 8 gigs. You can see this is actually about 8 gigs. And if you follow my previous tutorial, it probably will not work. They made some changes. So make sure you actually install in this way using pip. So it's pip install OpenWebUI, and also run the OpenWebUI doing OpenWebUI serve as a command line. So not as previously I'll doing in the backend. So start.sh. In this tutorial, to test it, you have to do in the OpenWebUI serve. So that should be it. And then you can test everything in the WebUI. So which is very cool. And so if you actually go to the their offshore documentation, so it will point you to this offshore website, which is chat.deepseek.com. And also make sure you test using the DeepSeek or DeepThink turn on. So if you don't turn on, there will be a different model, right? Probably V3. If you turn on, you can see it's actually DeepSeek R1. So let's test it. Let's test everything in the offshore one. And if you have a free time, you can test the other one that I just showed you on the local. So let's get started. So first we want to test. So by the way, we use the same benchmarks to test every model. So you could check out the videos for all the different models, how they perform. For this one, let's test it for the first question. So I write a Python function that takes a list of integers and returns the sum of all even numbers in the list. So they start thinking. Okay, so this is about right. So it's output is 6. So 2 and 4, and 30 is 10, 20. So that's good. So let's mark that as a pass. The second question, solve the following problems. If a train travels at 60 miles for 2.5 hours, then increases speed to 75 miles for the next 1.5 hours, what's the total distance traveled? So 262.5, this is correct. So let's mark that as a pass. Third question, generate a SVG code for a simple butterfly shape. All right. Okay, let's copy and paste it. Pasting so it's butterfly, that's good. Very nice butterfly. All right, let's mark that as a pass. Then 4, so you have a 3-gallon jug and a 5-gallon jug. How can you measure exactly 4 gallons of water? So let's test it. Okay, so this is right. So 5-gallon jug now contains 4 gallons. So basically, fill the 3-gallon and pour into a 5, and then fill the 3 jug and pour into a 5 jug until it's full. Leave 1 gallon in the 3-gallon jug, and empty 5-gallon jug, and transfer 1 gallon from 3-gallon to 5-gallon jug. Refill the 3-gallon jug and pour into the 5-gallon jug. So I got 4 in the 5-gallon jug. So this is correct. So let's mark that as a pass. So what's the capital C of the country whose name ends with Laya? I'm referring to the country name here. Okay, Australia, that's correct. Let's mark that as a pass. So it is 3307 prime. Let's try that. So it is a prime number. This is correct. So it also provides the steps. That's awesome. Let's mark that as a pass. So on the 7th question, if I have 2 apples, buy more, then I bake a pie with 2 of the apples. After eating half the pie, how many apples do I have left? Let's test it. Two apples left, that's correct. So the 8th question, Sally is a girl, she has 3 brothers. Each of her brothers has the same 2 sisters. How many sisters does Sally have? Let's paste the question. My sister, this is correct. Okay. And 9, create a Python program that prints the next leaf years based on the user's input. Okay, let's paste the question. This is correct. Let's test the code as well. Let's copy paste the code. to Google IDX and try it. So let's paste the code here and let's test it. So enter the number of leap years to find 3. So 28, 32, 36. This is correct. Let's mark that as a pass. So the last question, create a landing page for AI company, right? So let's paste the question. So let's copy paste code to the HTML page. So it's awesome design. You can see this excellent design. Very good. So overall, I think this is a great model. And also, as you notice that they don't have a lot of reasoning. So the reasoning is actually appropriate. So you don't go through it again and again. So it actually gives the answer very quickly. So that being said, this is a very, very good model. And as I mentioned earlier, you can definitely try that out at your free time on OpenWebUI with Ollama. So if you want to see how that works, let's quickly test it so that you can actually see if that also works. So let's create a landing page also. Let's use this one to create a landing page to see how it performs. So while it is written, so basically you can see from my previous test, everything is passed. So this is awesome. Let's go back to the OpenWebUI. So let's actually stop this one. This takes too long. Let's try another prompt. To generate this SVG image of the butterfly. But you can see that the distilled version probably still needs some improvement. So not like the one that we actually tested on the official website. It's actually really, really good. So this butterfly is really, really good, but actually in the distilled version, it's a little bit off, right? So, and last but not the least, so for the pricing of this DeepSeek R1, you can go to this quick start pricing section and DeepSeek Reasoner. You can see that for the input tokens and also for the 1 million input price for the cache miss or cache hit, it's basically a lot more expensive than the DeepSeek V3 chat. And also you can see the output price is also very, very expensive. So it's probably the information or tokens is actually generating. So so that's actually a lot more expensive than the DeepSeek V3. So that should be it. So this covers all the DeepSeek R1 as of today. Also, there's another blog from Simon. It's about written for the comparison of the R1 and also exploring the DeepSeek R1 distilled Ollama 3 8B. So that being said, hopefully this is helpful. And if you do like this video, please subscribe, like, or comment if you have any questions. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and see you in the next one.